Hi, Scott Orlin with Cinema Magazine, and what a pleasure it is to be here with two-time Academy Award winner Jodie Foster, director and star of The Beaver. Jodie, I think it's been 16 years since you last directed a movie. Has the technology, has the process changed, or is it like riding a bike? You just get right back on it, everything's the same.
I think it is like riding a bike, and I feel like, well, 45 years in the film business kind of qualifies me to sort of a little bit know why a scene works and why it doesn't. New technology has changed everything, and you know, it's so incredible. So many of the things that I was grasping for to get in my first film and trying to figure out how to do that with opticals, now you just do right on the avid. It's just incredible. But you know, filmmaking is not bells and whistles. It's really about the heart and about understanding character, and you know, all you need is a flip camera, and you can be the greatest director in the world.
That's what
Maybe
we have.
You are the greatest director.
Oh my God, I have the potential. When you see this movie, I mean, it's interesting because on one level, people could think, oh my God, it's about depression. It's about this man who's on the brink. But there's also a parallel, beautiful love story of this younger guy that's going through. How interesting was it to have those two aspects of the movie play side by side?
Yeah, there's really are two stories in the film: the story of the father and the story of the son. And the son is afraid that because he shares all of these very small traits of his father, that he's going to become just like him. And so that's how we're able to go back and forth between these two people, because they do have these parallels. They have the same tics, they have the same kind of facial gestures and expressions. And in a weird way, even though they're living different lives, the father clearly manic depressive, and who it does have a puppet on his hand, and the son who's really going through the first rites of passage, falling in love, going to college, all of that. In a way, they're on the same parallel path, dealing with the same thing. They're dealing with their aloneness.
Now, last question for you is, you're directing Mel Gibson, and he has this beaver puppet on his hand. How different, or do you have to break down that you're directing the beaver or you're directing Mel? I mean, were there moments where you're like, okay, Beaver, you need to...
Yes, there were second, you know, and that's what I love about Mel, is that even though he is a dynamic actor, he brings all that feeling to it, he's not neurotic about acting, and you can say to him, I want to see a little more Walter and a little less Beaver, you know, or I want to see Walter being conflicted about what the Beaver's saying, you know. I was able to give him 2 layers of direction, and he didn't go crazy.
And you had one Mel Gibson on the set. How many Beavers did you have on set?
We had about 5 or 6 Beavers, all in varying stages of disarray. But I think what we learned initially was that the beaver is really just a prop. We have to remember that there's a man behind it, and it's the man that's suffering, and the beaver itself is really just a prop. It's only as time goes on in the film that the prop takes on, in some ways, you project on a different life of its own.
Well, thank you for bringing this life to us as an
Thank you.
audience. As always, Scott Orlin. Until next time.